Good afternoon, everyone. Uh, this is my presentation. I'm Daniel Gonzalez Giovane, and I'm going to be talking today about the misconceptions about infectious diseases. Primarily, we're going to be talking about COVID 19, the current pandemic that is affecting the world, but we're also going to be using other infectious diseases throughout history as a point of comparison and reference uh, to what is currently going on. So let's begin. So, just for some background, infectious diseases have caused some of the deadliest eras in human history. Considering the rise of the COVID pandemic in 2020, it's more important than ever to deliver to the general population factual and verifiable information about the virus. And this is primarily because since COVID 19 was first detected, there have been over 1,300,000 deaths worldwide. The main purpose of the presentation is to showcase all of the facts pertaining to infectious diseases, primarily COVID 19, and that the general population knows what the right steps are in handling a pandemic like this. The conclusion that we hope to have is that everyone is more aware of what they can do to more efficiently stop the virus and to have some extra information about infectious diseases and some of the misconceptions that have been going around about the diseases themselves. So, as an introduction here, I put here a graph, a table, that shows the most deadliest diseases in human history. These include smallpox, measles, the Black Death, HIV, and AIDS. We see that if we add the deaths of smallpox and measles together, it comes out to around 500 million, which is a ridiculous amount of people. Um, Obviously, COVID 19 is not anywhere near these two diseases. That mainly comes from a variety of different factors, but smallpox and measles have been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Um, Smallpox and measles are also a lot more deadly. Um, but a big factor also comes in that back then, medicine was not nearly as advanced as it is now. Relatively, it wasn't even too long ago where doctors believed that germs didn't spread through touch, that washing your hands actually did nothing, that diseases actually spread through the air um, and breathing, not through touch or germs, uh, and that's one of the main causes as to why smallpox and measles killed so many more people than COVID 19 did. It's important to know that distinction. Here we see a graph of the deaths that have happened in the United States since COVID 19 was first detected in April. So we see that the rise of deaths has gradually increased until the summer, where the rise of deaths actually stopped and were looked like they were decreasing slightly from their path, and then they've started to rise again. That's another thing that we have to note, that 15% of the world's deaths because of COVID 19 come from the United States. So that shows exactly how much the United States has been impacted by the virus. Here we see a table and a graph. The graph showcases the case fatality rates of different diseases like Ebola, MERS, smallpox, and SARS in comparison to COVID 19. Thankfully for us, COVID 19 is around the 3.4% fatality rate. The other diseases have a much higher rate, uh, but they haven't been contracted as much as COVID 19 recently. That's good news for us, but there you can see the comparison of where COVID 19 stands. And on the right here, we see a table that shows the different symptoms that come with having COVID 19 and having something like a common flu. The important things to note are that a flu will never cause shortness of breath and it will never cause loss of taste or smell. If you have any of these symptoms, it's important to take a test and to make sure if you didn't actually contract COVID 19 because it's a sign that you could possibly have the virus. And here we see through research that over the past year, studies have shown on COVID 19 that it's still undeniably a threat. It's undeniably a threat now, and it will be in the months to come. Even with companies like Pfizer developing a vaccine that the market may see sometime next year, uh, COVID death rates are currently rising, and it looks like they're going to continue to rise for some time. Uh, this has given birth, the pandemic in general, to some misconceptions and controversies that come with the general public not being given correct information. These misconceptions include that masks are not actually useful or they're not as effective as stated. Uh, Crazy theories being presented, like UV lights and 5G being the real causes of the virus, that the numbers behind the COVID cases rising are misleading. All of these claims have been proven to be untrue, and they have caused a significant amount of controversy. This goes back to the point on why coronavirus information about it needs to be got from reliable sources. It can't be from any source that you see on the internet. Uh, this is where these controversies come from. So it's important to not get information from those sources and to be informed. Personally, the intrigue for me from infectious diseases comes from studying how humans uh, deal with a pandemic. In our lifetimes, we've never experienced a pandemic like COVID 19, and infectious diseases have been one of the leading causes of death. That's why it's important to study it so we can know what to do during diseases like this. And the relationship to the to my career interests is that pandemics affect any career that you're focused on. It can lead to shutting down schools, stores, businesses, transport, everything. Uh, and it's important to know the correct information because of that. This has been my presentation. Thank you for watching.